morning, everyone.
Morning.
I want to acknowledge and congratulate everyone who made the decision to be here today. You're all winners because you have invested your time, your energy to grow your business. Okay. By a raise of your right hand, how many of you like to dream? Anybody? Okay, look around the room. All right, you can put your hands down. Now, by show of your left hands, how many of you have heard the quote from Walt Disney, "If you can dream it, you can do it." Look around the room again. You can put your hands down. You see the cars up here? They're going to be in my garage this year. This is part of my dream. I have two goals for our time today. First, I'm going to share with you a little bit about my background, and then I'm going to talk about systems, teams, and dreams. I'm going to share with you some powerful techniques on how you can use the proven turnkey system Xocai provides for us to grow our business. Now, my background is going to be a bit of a surprise to some of you. My heritage is German, and so I do like things timely and very organized. Just ask my team. I'm the only one that starts training with an agenda. Now, here's kind of a surprise. You know, everything starts with a dream. It takes a team. And this is my passion, hot rods. Some of you may recognize some of these cars. Now, probably the one on the bottom that looks like a heap of junk, you won't recognize. But that's how these cars start out. With a dream, a team to put them together, and an end result that's not comparable to anything. And that's what our business offers us. We don't start out as a piece of junk, but we do start out with a dream. We work together as a team, and we end up with something phenomenal. I have had two successful businesses besides Xocai. The first, I was an electronics engineer. Now, in my generation, which makes me sound old, but anyway, in my generation, it was totally male-dominated. It was me and 3,000 of my best friends of men. And we put these huge systems together. And it took a team, and the team had to have a system in place in order to put these large rooms of computers together so that all this equipment would work together as one complete system. Today, this isn't a phone, but it's about the size of a phone. Today, we can almost hold the same amount of compute power that I worked on as an engineer in our hands. Is that not phenomenal? My second career was in commercial real estate and sales and development. And again, development requires a dream. Now, I used to think about how could we meet the market? And so I would come up with an idea, and then I needed a team of consultants because there's no way that I could draw those plans. I had to have a great architect to work with, engineers to design it, general and subcontractors to build it, a banker to finance it, and a project manager. And the project manager uses a system to work and direct all of the consultants. Now, I know you can't see this, but when I saw this organizational system that they use to run this, to run today, it made me think of those big systems and schedules that we used to have to build a building like this. So I'm sharing all of this about my background with you so that you can have the confidence about what I'm going to share with you today. I have been affiliated with Xocai for about 6 years. Now, I started off very part-time. When I was introduced to this opportunity, I was in the thinking, planning stages for this building. So I was working 14 hours a day, trying to figure out how I was going to get this medical building constructed and up and running and occupied. You know, this is why Xocai, using the network marketing business model, is so impressive. You can start part-time, and then you can grow your business. And as your business grows, and you start to have that financial freedom to decide what you want to do, not what you have to do. And it's such a nice feeling to be 100% involved in the chocolate business today, and not trying to figure out how I'm going to finance one of these buildings anymore. I'm going to share with you 3 valuable lessons that I've learned in my time here with Xocai. One is, don't overanalyze. Yes, that really does look like me most of the time, just sitting thinking about things. Be coachable and be part of a team. Now, I know we've talked in the Master Series, and you will hear it throughout today. It's the theme that makes everything work. So let me share with you, if I might, one of the biggest mistakes I made very early on in my career. The mistake was that for 2 weeks, I overanalyzed my decision to take action. I was into the analysis mode instead of the system that I was most familiar with in development. Now, I don't know what happened to me, but I just totally forgot to use the system, which is, for instance, in real estate, as a developer, you would always tie up the piece of land, then do your due diligence. Otherwise, you would have spent maybe 2 or 3 months at a minimum trying to make sure that the building that you wanted was going to fit on the land and all the other things that went along with it, and your financing and so forth. So you would tie up the land, then do your due diligence. Otherwise, you'd spend 2 months, thousands of dollars, and meanwhile, somebody like Jeanette and Marty would come in and buy the land, and I would have done all the work for nothing. So I totally forgot that important part. So I went into analysis paralysis. Let me tell you a little bit about that story. I worked in commercial real estate with a lady by the name of Connie Holstein. Anybody here recognize that name? And Connie and I were business partners in the real estate company that we both were shareholders in. And while I was at the very beginning of that office building I showed you, she came to me and said, I really need your help. I'm looking at a new company and I can't seem to find anything wrong. And I want you to see if you can shoot any holes in what I'm looking at, because she didn't want to make a mistake. And she knew that my expertise was in looking at companies. Before I would spend my time to consider working in the construction and putting a whole project together, which is usually 2 to 3 years, I wanted to know some key things. What was the strength of the company, their financial strength? What was their experience? Had they ever done this before? Because if they hadn't, they're never going to get a loan. And I'm sure Dan Martin can relate to some of these things, being in the construction business. So in any case, I met with Connie. She brought Derek with her. They told me a little bit about the company. Now, back then, it was all on a napkin. and they had one product, and it was one that we probably don't want to talk about tonight, right? The exploding bottles. We don't talk about that. So I was just doing Connie a friend. I was Connie a favor. I was working 14 hours a day, and if it hadn't been her, I never would have taken the time. So I did my due diligence for her. I looked at MXI. They were debt-free. They had experience in the chocolate industry. And what was most impressive to me is that it was family-owned. I had been an entrepreneur for years, and my family were entrepreneurs, so I really had a lot of respect for those three elements. And I suggested to Connie that, if it were me, I would go ahead. So Connie went ahead, she joined the organization, and then I started to think, gosh, I'm thinking about an exit strategy, and this might be an opportunity for me. It wasn't a huge investment, especially in comparison to what it cost me to build one of those buildings. So I went back into my analysis paralysis situation. I took 2 weeks to decide whether or not I actually wanted to join Connie, just on a very part-time basis, stick my toe in the water. Now, what did those 2 weeks cost me? Untold amount of money. While I was deciding, where's Felix?
Over here, Kaye.
Felix.
Over here. Woo!
Felix decided that it was time for him to get involved in the business. And then, of course, Felix introduced JJ Burden. Where's JJ?
Woo!
Felix and JJ, you're the ones that got away, because that 2 weeks cost me having both of those gentlemen in my organization, and probably about, 70 or 80% of our current European market. So, remember, how many of you were at the Master Series? How many of you remember JJ up on stage reading, feverishly reading? That was me. So hopefully, there's a good story in that you want to take action. So this is why everyone on my team has to continuously take action, myself and my team, because you absolutely never know when the next person you'll talk to will become your next great leader. Number 2 is to be coachable. What are the lessons here for you and your Xocai business to get out of your comfort zone and to get into action? Part of being successful in any business is getting out of your comfort zone. What I've observed for many new and experienced distributors, that they are uncomfortable with making that three-way call. And I mention this because it's sort of like the start of your business. You're new, you don't know what to say, and it's part of growing your business, making this three-way call. Now, I really had to leave my comfort zone to really move up in rank. Trusting someone to actually speak for me to my contacts was a huge leap of faith. All right, let me start over. That was a huge leap of faith. Let me just grab some water here. In my past careers in engineering and real estate development, I always had to know more than my male counterparts. So turning that control, oh yes, Germans, yes, we're a little bit controllable as well. We like to control things. So I had to learn how to turn control over to my partners. So when you make a three-way call, it's very easy. Your partner will explain the opportunity clearly to your prospect. They'll answer any questions that they may have, and then they'll invite that person to join you as a new partner. Now let me ask you, what did you really need to know about the product? What did you need to know about all the ingredients? And Adam Green, are you here close by? And what did you need to know about the comp plan? Poor Adam, he must have spent, I don't know how many months trying to explain that darn comp plan to me. When in reality, all I need to do is depend on my partners to explain it for me. I must admit that being coachable was one of the more difficult lessons I learned on my road to success. I've been an entrepreneur for years, having to be the coach versus being coachable. This was a difficult transition for me, and at the beginning, every time Connie or Derek or Adam would make a suggestion to me, oh my gosh, there was always a, well, yes, but. I wasn't willing to just listen and be coachable. And it wasn't until I got rid of the yes but in my conversation that I started to be successful and things started to happen. So what is our mindset for success? To get out of your comfort zone, to get into action, and to start living your dreams. You may not only need systems for taking consistent action, but day after day, we also need systems for developing a high-performance team. Now, the systems that the company, actually the whole teams have put together are fabulous. They are the roadmaps for us to be successful. I've experienced in all of my careers that systems produce predictable results. And when you follow proven systems like we have, you get those results. So what does this mean for you and building your business? To follow the systems and don't overanalyze. Use the proven turnkey systems that Xocai provides and not reinvent the wheel. So if it's not perfect, someone once told me very early on, you cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. So please don't reinvent that wheel. What we have works really well. The most successful people in our business do follow systems. I use these systems daily, and I encourage you to do the same. And then thirdly, we need to be part of a team. Some of the lessons I learned in the engineering field, as well as in the commercial real estate development, was that the project management team approach. You know, together, everyone achieves more. I can't tell you how important that is for those of you that are very new, what it means to have a team to rank advance. We've done phenomenal things in the last 2 weeks, and when I was, every time I go to do a rank advancement, there's no way I could do it without my team. But I've refined this team approach to create a high-performance team. I'll share 3 golden nuggets with you today for developing your high-performance team. Start with written goals, and don't forget to include personal, family time, and exercise. We need a balanced life. So to succeed, we need to start with a plan, which is made up of written goals, to discover our why. Why are you really doing this business? You will find your why by writing down your personal goals, your business goals, your spiritual, family, and philanthropic goals. And once you have your why, that is what will be the passion for you to work on your business day after day, month after month, and year after year. Develop a plan and then take action. To achieve your goals, you need that roadmap that the company provides us. Review your goals and your action plans every day, whether it's in the morning or in the evening, but every day review what it is that you're doing and where you want to go. Every week with your team leaders. And every month, re-evaluate your goals and schedule and adjust accordingly. It doesn't stay stagnant. Life is always changing. Reviewing goals is just feedback. Feedback is just neutral advice that tells us if we are on course to meet your goals or if we need to take corrective action. Excuse me. So in conclusion, we've covered 4 key lessons today. Don't overanalyze, get out of analysis paralysis and into action. Be coachable, get out of your comfort zone and get into the right mindset for success. Get into and develop a high performance team. Be part of the team and stop reinventing that wheel. And set written goals and put them on paper. Get them out of your head and on paper. And get feedback and make adjustments. So you can have it all. Take action and apply these lessons every day in your business, and you will enjoy the success and lifestyle you want and deserve. You know, we want vacations. I want the cars. Education for your children, a new home, whatever your dream is. So I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak with you today. Thank you so much.
Okay, now we are going to have some fun. This is where we're going to get a little more involved. And